Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tap Anxiety Away. This is Elsie Kerns, and I'm delighted to have a chance to share this evening with you. When you check in, would you let me know that you can see me and hear me in the chat room? Um, we're going to have a great PowerPoint slideshow tonight. And I look forward to teaching you this particular method. So I'm just waiting for a couple more people to get online. And of course, we're having absolutely magnificent weather here on the East Coast right now. Very deserving, I might say, after a lot of rain. So when you click in, you'll see the chat box on your right. Simply type in there, let me know that you can see me or hear me. Or if you're having any problems with that, that would be helpful to let me know. And when we get a few more people on, we'll start the chat. And go forward with Tap Anxiety Away. So I'm really glad I had a chance to do this because the technology that we have is not only fantastic, but it's great to have an opportunity to do this in a way that doesn't interfere with going anywhere. It's recorded for replay, as you know. And so you can listen to it anytime or listen to it again when you like. So for those viewers that have checked in, just click on that chat box. Let me know you're here, that you can see me, you can hear me. And that way we'll get a chance to get started soon. And again, this technology is fabulous. So this webinar will be made into an instant YouTube, and that you'll be able to view again. Candace, hi, great. And I'm so glad your son Joey joined us, because everybody, anybody of any age can learn to do this. It's easy, it's affordable, it's available 24/7. Hi, Marie. Great. I'm glad that you can see and hear me. It's nice to hear that back. And again, what I was saying is that if you have any questions, if you type them in, I will be able to see them and then have a chance to also answer them. And again, I'm going to put up a complete PowerPoint slideshow, and I'll also have that available afterwards. You'll receive the PowerPoint slideshow and also a PDF for follow-up, just a one sheet that you can print out and follow easily for yourself. So for everyone on the webinar, I want to invite you to just relax. We're going to actually physically do the tapping with each other as we go through the slideshow. And so you will have all of this to follow up for yourself when you're ready. And again, that one sheet PDF will be available so that you can just pull that out, print that out, and you don't have to look at the whole PowerPoint slideshow to get the essence of what you need to do every day. Hi, Anna Jean. Glad to have you aboard and that you can see and hear us all. We're all here. And this is very new technology, and so I'm asking you to hang in there with me as we put up the slideshow and we do all these things. It's a whole new challenge and a whole new way to do things. So I'm glad that people took the opportunity to sign up for this, because we're in the middle of summer and many people are on vacation or away. But those that did sign up, some of them did let me know that they were going to watch it later or as they're relaxing on the beach. So we're going to get going in a moment. And before we do, I want to officially start the webinar by telling you who I am and what you're going to get tonight. So to begin with, I want to emphasize again that you will receive a complete PowerPoint slideshow following tonight's presentation in the replay link, along with a one-sheet PDF that you can print out, and you can just have that as follow-up practice. You'll get the replay link either later tonight or tomorrow morning. Check your inbox and look at that. And then if you have any other questions, you can always email me. If you have questions on how to do it, or if you get stuck on something, just contact me and we'll go from there. So how am I qualified to teach this webinar, and who am I? Well, for the past 22 years, I have been studying in the holistic healing arts. I've been blessed to study with absolutely the legendary healers of our time, both men and women, of the highest integrity. The last 4 years, I studied with Donna Eden, and this technique comes from her work. Donna Eden is the author of Energy Medicine for Women, and The Energies of Love. She's a very, very dynamic lady. And I chose this particular technique because it is fast, it's easy, it's effective, and it's available to you 24/7. So there's no better option than to have something available to you 24/7. I also want to acknowledge that a lot of my life I struggle with anxiety and overwhelm. And I found an alternative to meds when I connected in with Donna Eden's work and this particular tapping technique, the TT Temporal Tap, that we're going to look at and review tonight. So I want to bring up the slideshow and talk you through that so you have a visual of exactly what I am speaking about. And I'm going to go over here to screen share and put up our PowerPoint. Okay, so here we go. Of course, the first page is inviting you to be with me, Elsie Kerns, wellness educator and stress specialist. And I comment here again what I just said to you, that this is a self-care practice that's holistic, it's effective, easy. It's time efficient, as you will see tonight, and available 24/7. So when we look at stress, we look at this in different forms: overwhelm, anxiety, frustration, fear. It brings fatigue, confusion, depression. And all of these things create one major issue: burnout. So we have this little kitten here showing us burnout. And one of the reasons that we struggle with burnout as a result of all the stress and overwhelm is because it literally exhausts our adrenals and it keeps cortisol moving through our body, draining our energy. So again, this little cat just reminds us how vulnerable we are. But do not panic. The TT Temporal Tap that we're doing tonight offers a holistic option for you that, again, is easy, effective, time efficient, affordable, and available to you 24/7. So I want to emphasize that once again. It's important for us to know that we have something that is self-empowering, that we can do for ourselves. And just a reminder that our hands are electromagnetic and our body is electromagnetic. So why does this tapping solution work? So this is something that I really want you to understand, because there are only two things that will bypass the stress meter: that fight, freeze alarm bell. And those two things are tapping and rocking. Why? Because primitive man literally rocked and tapped the body. And the fight, freeze alarm bell is part of our reptilian brain. It was designed to save us, and it did exactly that as a race. It did save humanity, but now it is killing us. So remember, when primitive man was walking the earth, the fight, flight, freeze alarm bell went off when it needed to, when it was his friend or her friend. It didn't go off just because it was a bad hair day or we were stuck in traffic on 295 or the turnpike. So today the struggle is that because this is going off all the time, it's depleting our energy and it's creating, even more important, chronic illness that our traditional medical system has no solution for. We have the most advanced technology in the world, and it's going to get better and better. However, we really need to get a rein in on this stress alarm bell. So let's go on to the next slide. So we have a picture here of the brain, the left and right brain. And what I want to say is that part of this idea of the temporal tap is that statements with negative wording tapped on the left side of the brain, which tends to be our linear, critical, skeptical side, are easily assimilated, versus statements with positive wording tapped on the right side of the brain that are highly receptive. There is a possible exception to that, and that might be for left-handed individuals who can try reversing the tapping side to see what works best for them. So what we're working with when we talk about the temporal tap is we're working with the left and right brain. We're bringing them into synchronization, and more importantly, we are changing our brain. We are changing an unhealthy pattern or some other attitude or self-limiting belief system or false belief system that we need to change at this time in order to be healthier. So let's see what this looks like. So we have a picture here of the head and points around, beginning at the temple. If we begin at the temple area and we go all the way around to the end of the ear, we're actually tapping that fight or flight meridian backwards. We're saying to the body, calm down. And as we stated a few moments ago, we're going to go around the left side of the ear with a negative statement, negative worded statement, and then we're going to go around the right side of the ear, and we're going to do that with a positive statement. When we tap, we're going to tap strong. I want you to actually feel it on your body. And I want you to voice your sentences out loud, your intentional sentences on the right and the left sides of the brain. So this is very easy. Again, we're going to the left side. We're beginning right at the temple. And we're tapping strongly around to the end of the ear so that we can tap in those sentences. So let's look at the full procedure. So we have a full procedure, and when I finish with the PowerPoint slideshow, I'm going to come back and we're going to actually do that together live. But I want to talk about the actual procedure and why we're following that. So we're going to begin by identifying a habit, an attitude, a health condition that you want to change, or a self-limiting belief. We're going to create a short, concise sentences in your own words, and I want you to write them down. So I've given some examples that we're going to use tonight, some generic examples. And I'm suggesting that you make the sentences reasonably short and concise. And again, in your own words, and it's helpful to write them down so you don't forget them. Because if you get a really great sentence, you can bet that that fight, flight, fright doesn't want to change, and it's going to help you forget them instead of remember them. An important factor is to be sure that your statements do not contradict a core value or a basic need. So we're not contradicting any kind of core personal value for ourselves or need. I'm emphasizing again to say your statements out loud to hear your voice of authority. I want you to hear your own voice. Remember, you're stating these sentences, your intentions, to the universe. This is saying, you're saying this to your brain, to the universe. This is what I intend to change. You're going to begin tapping on the left side first, and you're going to repeat that for 5 to 9 times, just on the left side. Then you're going to move to the right side, and you're going to repeat that sentence that you've created on the right side, again, for 5 or 9 times. You're going to do this 5 times a day or as often as you can for 30 days in a row. Now, we all know, we've heard that in order to change a habit, we need to do something 30 days in a row. So, you know, if you forget a day, don't worry about it. Just get back on the next day and move forward. You want to focus your attention on the words and the meaning and the desire that you want to change. You want to bring your desire, those words, your focus to that meaning for you. The more you tap, the stronger the effect on your nervous system. Remember, your nervous system connected to the brain. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to work with that concept of just relaxing that nervous system and the fight, flight, fright, freeze mechanism long enough to make a change. And the faster to change and heal your habit and self-limiting belief. So again, the more you tap, the more you set your intention, the stronger effect it's going to have, and the faster that it's going to help you change and heal that habit or self-limiting belief. So I want to stop here for a minute and say that there is an enormous amount of research right now out on neuroplasticity, which is speaking about how we can actually change the brain, that things are not set in stone, that we have the ability to make a change. We can do that ourselves. And that is another reason why the tapping is successful. Remember, I said a few minutes ago that the fight, flight, freeze mechanism, that stress mechanism, that sympathetic nervous system, doesn't react to tapping because primitive man tapped, primitive man rocked. People that are doing emotional freedom technique and many other different techniques have found them successful because it is one of the few ways to bypass that alarm bell, that stress alarm bell. So here's an example of something that we're going to use to tap tonight, just as generic when I come back. For example, on the left side, we might say, I no longer get stressed under pressure, or I don't get stressed under pressure, or I won't get stressed under pressure. On the right side, we can say something as simple as, I am calm and centered under pressure now. So please notice that in this example, I'm trying to keep my sentences fairly short, fairly concise. Here's another example, and this is a good one for me. I no longer eat from anxiety, fear, compulsion. Or, I don't eat from anxiety, fear, compulsion. On the right side, we would tap in, I am eating for health, fitness, and enjoy my food. So you'll note that with these sentences, that even when we are using a negative wording above, it is still in a positive mode. So when we say, I no longer get stressed under pressure, even though we're using a negative wording, it's still a positive mode. So we're going to come back to this. And on this slide, I want you to look at again what I just said, that sympathetic nervous system, flight, fight, freeze alarm bell, doesn't perceive tapping as a threat. Therefore, your brain is now receptive to change that unhealthy habit or belief system. And I want to say here that everybody has some unhealthy habits or self-limiting belief systems that go right down their family lineage that they'd like to change. Your intention, your persistence, I need to change that spelling, and repetition creates the opportunity to change the brain. Change your brain and change your life. So you can begin that today. Trying to get down to that next slide. So this is a pretty big hurdle that we all have to go over. And so we wonder, well, what kind of support do we have to do this? I'm suggesting that you hire the universe. And when I say that, we're also going to go back to this tonight when I come back on. We're going to step out with the right foot and right hand, the right side of the body, the action side of the body. We're going to reach out to the universe and state, I set intention to release the unhealthy habits and belief systems that have been holding me back from living life in joy and freedom. I am hiring you, great vast universe, the seat of all possibilities, as my personal TT Temporal Tap coach to keep me on track. I thank you in advance for my success, and I'm now receiving the inspiring energy of the universe to help me transform. So I added a note down here that you could feel free to add your own words or change or delete anything that doesn't resonate with you. But when we look out at the universe and all the possibilities that are out there and all the things that we're learning today as the scientists explore Pluto, for example, and all the other universes that these cameras in space are allowing the scientists to view at a deeper level than ever before, we see how vast that universe is and how incredibly powerful beyond words. So as you do this, I want you to know that you are filled with healing love, because the TT Temporal Tap is a self-care, self-empowering practice that is holistic, healthy, successful, affordable, and available to you 24/7. I want to just keep emphasizing that to you over and over. There's not many things that we have that are 24/7 available to us. So again, you're filling yourself with healing love because you're using a self-care, self-empowering practice. So on this last slide, this is just information about myself and a way to contact me. I love doing educational online webinars and teleclasses, worksite, on-site wellness or individual consultations, or 6-month personal development plans. And I really love teaching in any way I can, or sharing at a company fair. So if there's some way that I can be part of that for your company, let me know. Okay, so I'm trying to get back now to, I hit stop sharing. I'm trying to see if I can get back with you. Okay, here I am. So we went through that slideshow, and again, you're going to have that to follow up with after the webinar. I'm going to make sure that you get that. But what I want to do right now are use some of those generic sentences to see exactly how this feels to you and exactly how to do the tapping. Okay, so I'm going to take off my glasses and we're going to start with the first generic one that says, I no longer get stressed under pressure. So we're going to take our hand and come to the left side of the temple here. You're going to follow me, and we're going to begin tapping. I no longer get stressed under pressure. We're coming all the way around to the end of the ear. Come back up to the temple again. I no longer get, whoops. I no longer get stressed under pressure. Again, beginning at the temple and really tapping. I no longer get stressed under pressure. I no longer get stressed under pressure. And again, I no longer get stressed under pressure. Okay, now we're going to go to the right side. Remember, the left side, the linear, skeptical, critical brain believes that statement that we are making. One more time, I no longer get stressed under pressure. Now we're going to go to the right side and we're going to do the same thing, but with a different sentence. We're tapping in that positive, I am calm and centered under pressure. 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 One more time, right here at the temple, tapping, really, really tapping. I am calm and centered under pressure all the way down to the back of the ear. Okay, so notice that we kept the sentence short and concise. We really tapped. We used our voice tapping out loud. And we worked first on the left side and then on the right side. Now we did that about 5 times, but I also said that, you could do this 5 to 9 times. You want to set up a regular pattern for yourself. You're changing your brain. So you have access to the chat box, and I'd like to know if you have any questions or just how you experience that with me. I'm going to step on my glasses so I can see any questions that come in. So once again, we're going to do this again to get the rhythm and the feel. And probably the most difficult thing that people have is actually deciding on the sentences that they want to tap. You're going to first create, okay, I want to work on this particular habit, this particular issue, this particular self-limiting belief that I have, whatever that is. I want to work on that. And this is the sentence I'm going to create. I also suggest that you work on one situation or one belief system at a time so that you're not confusing your brain with too many things, and that you stay as persistent as possible. So if somebody has any questions that I can help them with, or ideas that they'd like for a situation or a belief or a habit that they're trying to correct, let me know. Just type it in there and I'll be able to see it in the chat box. Now, let's do that again so we get it down pat, so we have it practice really well. And this time we're going to use that second set of generic sentences that we have. And that set said, I no longer eat from anxiety or compulsion. And then I am eating for health, fitness, and enjoy my food. Okay, so I just want to say that Candace and Joey said that they felt this was very simple and they can feel the energy in the words through the tapping. And that's so right on, Candace. You're right there. That's exactly what we want you to do. We want you to feel those words as you do that tapping, because you're focusing on those words and you're allowing the energy as you calm down. Remember, you're bypassing that fight or flight, so you're calming that down, giving the body a chance to change your brain, change the habit, whatever that happens to be. And the reason that I wanted to teach this with this seminar is because this is easy. It is time efficient. Anyone can make time for this. It's not hard to do. Anyone of any age can do this. And it is very effective. So I have also taught emotional freedom technique and other tapping techniques that are much more involved. But this is right on, clear, concise, and easy to do. So let's go to the second set of generic sentences that we talked about, and let's practice this together to just see how it feels again. Here's a different set of sentences. So I'm going to take off my glasses and I'm going to start on the left side. I'm starting right at the temple and I'm saying, I don't eat from anxiety, fear, compulsion. I'm going all the way around to the end of my ear. I don't eat from anxiety, fear, compulsion. I don't eat from anxiety, fear compulsion. I don't eat from anxiety, fear compulsion. Okay, now I have to say that I am an emotional eater. If I get upset, just that one cookie will help, or one scoop of ice cream will do the trick. So this is an especially great sentence for me. Okay, now we're going to go to the right side where we're tapping into that creative right brain, and we're going to begin tapping all the way over, okay, here at the right temple. I am eating for health, fitness, and enjoy my food. I am eating for health, fitness, and enjoy my food. I am eating from health for health, fitness, and enjoy my food. I am eating for health, fitness, and enjoy my food. So we said in the slideshow that we need to do that several times a day. You need to put like a little post-it note on your computer screen, or you need to set time like in the morning, maybe at lunchtime, dinner time, before you go to bed. You need to really say, I'm going to do this so many times a day and stick with it. So if anybody else has some questions, please feel free to type them in. I want to help you as much as I can and find out if there's any glitches you have on this or any sentences that I can help you with for something specific that you're struggling with. Now, in that PowerPoint slideshow, one of the things that I suggested was that we hire the universe because we need support. We absolutely need support. So here's another option. For instance, Candace and Joey are on this together, so they have each other to support each other, to do it together, or to help keep each other on track. So I invite you to teach this to someone else. You'll be able to print out that one-page PDF that gives all the information I've given. So teach somebody else at work or a friend and create a bond and do it together. Also, it's helpful to write a journal. Maybe keep a very short journal about what's happening. How have things changed? How do you feel as you do this? So Candace wrote in and said, I'd love my mom to use this technique for quitting smoking. What would be an appropriate right tapping sentence? Okay, so Candace, when we talk about smoking, it is one of the most difficult habits to break. And the reason is because it is a 7-second instant happening in the body that either helps somebody relax or gives them an extra boost of energy. So for smoking, we might say something on the left side like, I no longer need cigarettes to nourish me. Because one of the things I want to say about smoking for people is that it does nourish them in some way. Just like that cookie or that little dish of ice cream nourishes me when I get rattled, and it doesn't take much. So if we look at that smoking as something she's doing to soothe her, it's self-soothing. It's actually it's nourishing her in some way, but we know from all the statistics out there and all the medical advice that it is not healthy in any way for us. So if we began on the left side, I no longer need cigarettes to nourish me. Then we would have to go to the right side and create a different sentence. A sentence that is nourishing and that is helpful to the body. So let me see. On the right side, we might tap. I am nourishing myself with love and tapping. Just very simple. I am nourishing myself with love and tapping. I am nourishing myself with love and tapping. The most important thing, though, in teaching this to your mom is that you want her or to find the words that really resonate with her. So that means that you would help her find those words, those sentences, and that's the tricky part, finding the sentences that really resonate with you or with that individual. Because those are the sentences that you're using to change the brain. So I would help her. She could give it a try. It doesn't cost anything. It's easy. And it's really kind of fun. It's also a self-care practice. It's a way that we take care of ourselves. So as I, have been going through all of this new technology, I've been up here. I no longer fear technology. I am coming through with flying colors or whatever it is I'm tapping. Because this is such great technology and a great way to be able to teach everyone. Going back to that idea of hiring the universe, we need support. So when we hire the universe, we are actually creating a special intention to have the support of the universe. And I invite you to bring in whatever support is special to you, your angels, or whatever special religious belief that you have that helps you to also connect and support yourself in changing that habit. There has been so much technology around the brain, around neuroplasticity, and how we can change the brain, that we have options today we never had before. Dr. Daniel Amen, A-M-E-N, actually wrote a number of books that said, change your brain, change your life. So there's a lot out there that we can also read about. And the tapping allows us to engage ourselves with a physical, healthy, holistic, affordable practice that's available 24/7. So Candace, I'm glad you agree that it's a self-empowering aspect of being able to help ourselves. And today we are living so much longer. We may have this great advanced technology and medicine that we do, and we honor that. But we really and truly need to work with ourselves every day, because we all have chronic issues that we need help with. Everyone does. So again, I'm going to just go through this, hire the universe. I want everyone to say this together with me that's on the webinar. And we're going to start by saying that we're going to imagine that we step out with our right hand, our right foot, that yang action side of our body, and we're going to reach out to the universe and say, I set intention to release the unhealthy habits and belief systems that have been holding me back from living life in joy and freedom. I am hiring you, great vast universe, the seat of all possibilities, as my personal TT Temporal Tap support coach, to keep me on track. I thank you in advance for my success, and am now receiving the inspiring energy of the universe to help me transform. So this is just another way to nourish yourself, self-care. So again, I invite anybody else that has any questions, Marie, Anna, send them in. And in addition to the idea of the temporal tap, I want to encourage us to also tap in joy. So if we go to an area right between the eyebrows here, this is the beginning of the bladder meridian. And the bladder meridian works with our nervous system. Remember, our nervous system holds a lot of baggage. So I want everyone to bring to mind someone special, someone they love, or a special event, a special memory. And I want you to come up between the eyebrows, and as you envision that special person or event or memory, I want you to tap in joy. Tap in the joy of that person, event, whatever it is. Reprogram your body for joy. And I'll also include a little video that I did on tapping in joy and why it is again so easy and successful. We all need more joy in our life. Just watching the 5 o'clock news, we know we need more joy in our life. So let's go over this one more time, in that you're going to begin this very simple temporal tap on the left side, right by the temple. You're going to tap really hard all the way around, all the way to the end of the ear with that sentence. For example, I no longer get stressed under pressure. So you're going to use again the sentence that resonates with you. You're going to make up your own sentence for both the left side of the brain and the right side. And then on the right side, we're tapping in that positive statement. I am calm and centered under pressure, all the way around to the end of the year. You're going to do that on each side, anywhere from 5 to 9 times. And you're going to repeat that as many times as you can during the day. You want to make this a healthy habit. So Candace had a question about, after the 30 consecutive days, is there something you need to continue regularly. So Candace, one of the things I suggested earlier was that whatever issue or belief system or habit we're trying to change, that we start with one specific concept that we want to work with, that we work through that for the 30 days. And then there are many others that we can do after that. Or if we need a little refresher, if we find ourselves going back to that habit, go back, find the sentences that resonated, see if they need a little tweaking, and do them again. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. You can continue as often as you need. And the key, again, is that the sentences are in your own words, that they don't conflict with any core value you have. They're your sentences, and that you are doing them consistently every day. You're building a healthy habit, and you're changing one you want to let go of. So when we consistently tap in those new ideas, the brain gets it. The brain makes that change, and that's what we're looking for. That's what we're striving for. So I hope that answers that question for you. And I would love to hear how people are doing with this. What kind of success you've had. I also encourage you, you can go on YouTube. I have a number of short videos on energy. You can also put Donna Eden's name in there, and she has lots of YouTube videos. So many of those are free, and you can learn a lot just from them. So once again, I want to emphasize that the success of tapping lies in the fact that tapping and rocking were discovered to be the only two things that could actually bypass, keep that fight, flight, freeze, stress alarm bell from going off. So it kind of works behind the scenes, and when we're trying to bring in a new habit, a new idea, or get rid of an old one, we need to be able to bypass that, because those habits that are set in absolutely don't want to change. So that's why we need to be persistent, regular with this, set our intention, do everything we can for that change. But people have proven that this is very successful. And I like it because it's time efficient and it's easy, and anybody can do it anywhere. If you can't say it out loud, just say it to yourself. The important thing is, like that great Nike slogan, just do it. So get a little copybook, create the sentences that resonate with you, and begin tonight. Right after this webinar, you have a perfect opportunity to create those sentences. So we're almost out of time, but before we end the webinar, I would like to check and see if there are any more questions or comments you have. Has this been valuable? I wanted to bring something that you could take away with you that would be easy to follow up with and learn and stick with. And again, I really love teaching the energy medicine. Dr. Oz has said it is the future of medicine. And remember, Albert Einstein said Energy is all there is. So once again, I'd like you to take a moment to come up between the eyebrows, and I'd like you to tap in joy and the joy of self-care that you took to be here and to view this webinar, to learn the temporal tap. So just come up here, give yourself a little love, tap that in. And I want to tap in the fact that I got through the technology, that we got the PowerPoint slideshow up. It's just a miracle how all this works. So I want everyone to just close their eyes for a few moments and take a nice deep breath in and bring in peace and calm. And as you exhale, exhale stress and anxiety. Take a deep breath in, close your eyes and relax, and exhale stress and anxiety. And one more time, breathe in deeply, breathe in peace and calm, and exhale your stress and anxiety. This is Elsie Kerns, and it has been a pleasure to be with you tonight. I'll be sending out the webinar replay along with the Tap and Joy video and the PDF PowerPoint slideshow that you can just run through, look through, or print out. And also that one sheet of how to do the temporal tap that you can just carry with you or keep as an easy follow-up practice. So again, I appreciate everybody joining me, Candace, Joey, Marie, Peggy, all the people that checked in. Thank you so much for signing up. And please feel free to share this with other people. Share this technique with others. Get a support system going. Practice it at work. Get everybody at the office doing it with you. Or get a special friend and work together to support each other. Don't forget to hire the universe and to tap in joy. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll look forward to seeing you all again on another Energy Medicine webinar.